Hey there, welcome to the Eurostep GSPN post-game coverage. The Milwaukee Bucks are now down 0-2 against the Indiana Pacers after a game that Indiana won 123-115. Was a 5-point game late in the fourth, but again, the Bucks get it close but cannot pull off the comeback after spotting the Pacers a significant lead. Damian Lillard made his playoff debut. We got the first ever Dame and Giannis playoff game, but the Bucks clearly have some issues they need to work through as well. We are going to talk about all of it on this podcast presented by our friends over at Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. But I'm Ty, joined as always by my compadres, Rohan, Katti, and Jordan Treske. Fellas, here's my first thought coming into this podcast. I think we're victims of Stockholm Syndrome. I think we got Stockholm Syndromed into trusting Doc Rivers. That's where I'm at right now.
I think we did.
How's it
honestly.
going? But yeah, that's I kept thinking like we got kidnapped.
We did. I mean, did we really? Because we kind of
we got Doc napped.
Are you saying like between
yes, Stockholm Syndrome? Yes, Jordan. Sorry, Rohan.
My favorite city, Stockholm, Sweden.
The Dweeds.
Are we getting kidnapped from when? Like when did we get kidnapped? Before the start of the playoffs? Or just in general?
I think this whole time up to now, but I would say the moment during the hostage crisis, the moment when we truly got Stockholm Syndromed was last playoffs. That was like the bank robber giving us a chocolate bar while they're waiting to see if the demands are going to be met. That was the moment when we were like, oh, okay, I see the humanity in this person now. I'm kind of rooting that you get out of here safely. And now he's flying his own ransom helicopter out of here, and we're still on it. And we're just perilously over the ocean waters with no land in sight. That's how I feel right now.
No, I think that's a valid feeling. I mean, the three of us we talked about on the last episode after game one. There's a lot of stuff we want to see from Doc Rivers. We did see some stuff from Doc Rivers. I will say that. What we saw was not good, but we definitely saw some things. We saw a lot.
Yep.
Jordan, are we kidnapped?
I like to think that we are better. I don't know. I don't think it's a Doc thing.
We're not kidnapped. We're choosing to be here.
Yeah, we're choosing to be. It's free will. Free will. I'm a big free will believer.
Depends who you ask.
I just think watching tonight's game, it is just I think the biggest thing that we ended on our game one reaction pod was, are they going to make a move to the starting lineup? And if it's going to be anything other than Damian Lillard returning. And you guys convinced me of Dave's going to come back and there's going to be nothing else. And they literally started worse than game one. It was unequivocal of they lost wire to wire. They never had a lead this game. Correct? Right?
Correct.
So, I mean, obviously I agree. I don't know what more Doc has to say after the game to be like, this, we believe in this lineup. We are two teams. Whatever he was saying after game one.
Well, there's the first team and there's the second team. You got to keep that in mind. There's two teams, only two.
You got JV and you got varsity, and JV is the starting lineup, unfortunately. But it is just when it comes down to the wire and they get down to 2 points within the 2.5 minutes to go, and it's not like they unraveled, but you could make the argument. It's more of just everything matters. They just had to make such an effort to get back into the game tonight that being down by as much as they were, it's disappointing that, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, unfortunately, they started so badly that they finished where it was.
Correct. For the second straight game, I think let's start with Dame. I mean, we started with Stockholm Syndrome, which I think it's too clever not to. Dame returned, Well, very cool, by the way. Very cool that this finally happened. I think very cool that he was even able to get back and play in this game, as I think, were totally correct about after the first game. Since the Bucks lost, he debuted. I bet they would have waited until game 3. You could tell he certainly was not 100%. Not that you would expect him to be 100% in this game, but he got out there, hit a huge shot late, had 7 assists. Not going to criticize Dame very much. I mean, great to just get out there, hopefully knock some rust off. Was able to play quite a bit. He ended with 37 minutes in the debut back from the blood clot. So a cool story, a couple fun moments with him and Giannis. Not the Dame we were hoping for, but I don't know. I don't think it's inconceivable that he could be out better and get better over the course of this series. It didn't to me look like he wasn't close to being able to go. It wasn't like he was hobbling around out there. I just think the game speed was a bit much early and his touch wasn't great with the 3 ball, but that's just what you'd expect after the guy doesn't play for a full month and can't even work out at, full speed for some of that portion. So that's a positive, I would say.
I'd say it's a good positive. The thing is he can get better, like you were saying,
Yeah.
as the series progresses. It's better to have him than to not have him. He is definitely a ceiling raiser for this team. And we saw it, like just that gravity that he has, his shot wasn't there, but he was able to make some shots count. And that's only going to get better. Dame's not going to shoot 30% again, I say, as he's going to shoot 20 next game. But it's like you hope that he can rise to that level and get back to normal game speed. And it's just cool that he's able to be out there. It's a shame that this is the first game that Giannis and Dame play together in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought first half he looked pretty. It was kind of weird. I thought at first it felt very. I don't know if it was just a matter of one trying to get Kyle Kuzma going, the start just being as poor as it was on both ends of the floor, the turnovers, everything like that. It felt like he was kind of in feeling out mode, and obviously that's totally understandable given that you're kind of being thrown into this and everything's kind of. I think even Doc said before the game, they're going to be relying on Dame's word to be like, "Are you ready? Can you keep going? Can you keep going?" I thought the first half he looked really good, considering that he just had missed weeks of basketball action and had to ramp up pretty quickly. I thought a lot of his struggles second half were very much conditioning related. Like it was, credit to the Pacers. They were making him work defensively. It wasn't like the Bucks could do much hiding of him because they were throwing him in ball screens. He had to be on ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I felt like that contributed to kind of the shooting struggles that we saw until he hit the big shot. So yeah, like I don't know how anybody could be really disappointed in what Dame was bringing, considering that we didn't even think that he would be playing basketball again this year. It just sucks that it comes under these circumstances. And, when you're out, whether it's I guess a quote unquote normal kind of injury or something like this where it is very precarious and then it's like all systems go, you kind of run your own race. So now it's Damian Lillard has to match kind of with where the Bucks are. I mean, considering where he was last year, the guy was playing on like one leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was incredibly hobbled. So this it's not that this is the best physical condition that we've seen Damian Lillard in the playoffs, but you can make the argument that it has been so far.
Yeah, it's at least close to it. We've got some copium here via Eric Dame of The Athletic. Doc Rivers, when asked about the slow starts in both games, quote, "We've gotten off to 2 poor starts. We got to make an adjustment there for sure." Are we finally going to see
Good job,
the
Doc.
starting lineup change? He figured it. He cracked it. He cracked the case on this
Legendary stuff from Doc Rivers there. He's like, you know what? 1 time, not a problem. 2 times, that's a problem.
Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
shave on me.
And like 4 stints, like not just 2, like probably 4 stints where that unit got basically killed. They did have a good one late in the second quarter, and it's bad because at first I was like, hell yeah, they did it. And then I was like, is this going to get us another game or game and a half of this group? Do you know what I mean? Like that was my next thought of like, oh, nice. Miles Turner missed a couple threes. How many more starter minutes is this going to result in? The answer was not many. A few in the third quarter, not many after that. The sad thing was I actually thought the 3 most maligned players from game 1 did play better in this game and it just wasn't nearly enough. And I think it just shows you what we have kind of known and have been speaking to all along. And that lineup is just not a matchup for this Pacers team whatsoever. That lineup, I mean, I don't think it's great for any team. It was like a +4 net rating in the regular season, which is like okay, but it's your number one Giannis and Dame lineup, so you kind of need it to be better than that, frankly. And there's not enough spacing, clearly. There's no one to guard guards, which I just don't know how we have not learned that lesson about
Hey,
Damian Lillard
it's okay.
yet.
We got Kyle Kuzma picking up Halliburton full court. It's all good.
Dude, and Prince picking up Halliburton at 3/4 court. I was like, what are we doing? Like, that's not Ryan Rollins. You can't just play him like Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins, apparently, Doc's like, we actually can't play Ryan Rollins at all. He played 0 minutes in this game. And Brook Lopez, had a couple nice moments, had 4 blocks,
Great
made some
blocks.
shots.
Did what he could.
Yeah.
I struggle with having confidence in them to win this series because the coaching staff just feels like they're on Jupiter, which is you can't even be on Jupiter. It's not even there's no solid, it transitions from gaseous to solid. You can't even stand on it. It's impossible, but that's where it feels like they're coaching from. How many times are we going to switch Brook Lopez out of Halliburton?
Hey, at least they weren't dropping.
I think it's worse, actually.
I think typically, I will say typically against this Pacers team throughout the season, switching 1 through 5 has proved better than drop, but it's still not good.
It should never, ever happen. They got burned on some screens early in game 1, and they're just like, we're not going to try and fight through screens ever anymore. But the problem is, it's not even all screens.
Yeah.
Like, 2 Pacers walk near each other, and the Bucks are like, we got to switch this. We have no hope of brushing around this player to cut off someone who probably doesn't want to shoot off the dribble. Did Halliburton make a single 3 off the dribble today? Maybe the one he stepped into with Brook on him because Brook was on him, but usually
it
wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball great. Like, I know he finished with like 21 and 12, but he didn't shoot great from 3. I think he was like 3 of 10 or 3 of 11.
3 of 10, 8 of 19 from the field. So yeah, he had 21 points, but it came on a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And I feel like very few of those, if any, were like he gets around the screen and stops and pops immediately. It's like he likes to dance a little bit, giving you time to get your defender over there, and they just don't do it. I just feel like so many things we said coming in, like you need to, like the lineups we thought, the floor balance you needed, the way to defend this team, and it just feels like they're so far off. I can't believe they didn't use more of the zone with Brook. I know they gave up the 3 to start the second half. I think if you're going to play him, that's almost all you can do. Because I don't think you can switch 1 through 5. And you definitely cannot drop against Turner and Siakam anymore. I just think he can barely play in this series.
Brook?
Yeah.
The problem I obviously agree with you. I think he's really tested. It's not necessarily a Brook thing. I just think it's indicative of what is in front of him or lack thereof. Like Taurean Prince.
But that's also at some point because of what Brook Lopez is.
I agree.
Equally. I think it's both though.
Yeah, it's like
I see what he's saying.
It's the problem exists because of one and the other. It's not, you know what I mean? Like they cancel each other out. That's essentially what they're kind of doing. I think the most damning thing that we could bring up in this example is that if you're watching the FanDuel Sports Network broadcast, coming out of halftime, Greg Buckner is interviewed by Melanie Ricks, and he's like, we want to make them feel us defensively. And the first possession coming out of halftime is in zone. Like, that is so damning. That is so damning.
And it's a wide open 3.
And it was a wide open 3. As much as like the zone defense has been somewhat good for the Bucks this year, like cautiously good, is probably the best way to say it. It has not looked good in this series. Like it's even when the Pacers are missing. I think there were multiple instances tonight where the Bucks did not get the loose ball because it's a long miss and no one's in position to get it. So yeah, like it's such a maligned starting lineup where, again, Taurean Prince is just not a ball stopper. He's not even like, he's not on ball to stop it. Like, that's the problem. Like he plays Halliburton with such a cushion that it's it just compromises the Bucks from the get-go. And then
Yeah.
you have like some of the matchup stuff that they were doing right after the bad start, I thought was interesting. Like it got them going in like somewhat positive way, at least a positive direction. And then it would just be like, oh, the Pacers are hitting their shots again. Like
Yeah.
at
Well,
some
I
point,
mean, Kyle Kuzma bounced back from a horrible start when I was like, he might just not be playable the whole game. They draw up 2 plays for him. He gets to the rim twice, which is
yeah,
good. I was like, okay, and he biffs both layups.
he's
I don't
ready to
think
go 0 for 30.
he was, but third quarter he got hot. He scored 8 points in that quarter. He ends with 12 total, so not world beating, but fourth on the team in points. But my God, they tried to use him on Halliburton. That was clearly like, we're saving this card, and that card got trap hold immediately and
Three
sent to the
diamonds.
Shadow Realm. Yeah, that
They were
card
trying some
was
stuff. Like
They were.
they were happy to have him switch onto Turner, which I think is good because
yeah,
I think he's
that worked
big enough.
okay.
But they were like, oh, we can go either direction, right? No,
No.
you
No.
cannot.
Yep.
You can size him up. Don't size him down.
I was honestly pretty surprised by that, though. I feel like we've seen some Siakam on elite offense. Like, well, didn't he guard Luka? I mean, like Luka's a little bigger. I know, as Nico Harrison will tell you, but Halliburton's not the fastest guy. But my God, he got past Kuzma immediately. That was pretty disappointing defensive reps, to be honest with you, because I thought he could have some versatility in who he covered. I thought he's had some success on smaller guards. He had no success on Halliburton in this game.
It's more of like that slippery kind of change of pace.
Yeah,
that
he just couldn't keep
I
up.
can't,
laterally.
maybe like because it's different when I think was it his first game? Yeah, it was the Hawks game where they put him on Trae Young. And I was like, oh yeah, like he just towers over him because Trae Young's 5'11". It's a little different when like Tyrese Halliburton's 6'5".
6'5".
You know,
Yeah.
he has some length to him too. So, but yeah, like it's just I like the matchups. Like I know, again, they were doing stuff. It wasn't like they were just rolling outside of the lineup.
Well,
It wasn't like they were just like, let's play the same game. Like they were doing different stuff. I just think,
It's
again,
almost like they played the Pacers even after that horrid start.
right? It really is the difference of this game, you know. And I just don't, whether it's like in half court situations or like transition, like if you just watch them react to the person on the ball, it felt so many times. It's like, why do you care about the guy staying in the corner when the guy has an open lane to the rim with the ball in his hands? Like, it's just 101. I'm not even a basketball coach. And I realized you just have to recognize that at some point, and you just can't get away with that for so long.
That's why I don't have much faith in them winning this series, because it just feels like there's so many things they do where you're just like, yeah, it's just not sustainable to do.
Yeah.
I think more so on defense, probably just because having players like Damian Giannis is going to give you some sort of offensive competency, even though, I think the starting lineup is very bad for offense. But defensively, like there's some possessions when Brook is in actions, and it just looks like the team doesn't know what coverage they're in.
Yeah.
Like how many, and this has happened frequently throughout the season. How many possessions have we seen Brook like kind of stuck in no man's land, involved in an action with another Buck on defense, and he's just kind of like shrugging or going like, "Hey, why weren't you there?" It's year 2 of Doc. It's the playoffs of year 1 with Greg Buckner coaching the defense. They've made some changes. They have not changed over the whole roster within the last month. And a lot of it is guys who have been around the whole season. Brook's been here for 6 years or more, or whatever. 7 years. No. Yeah.
7?
This
No.
is season 7, yeah.
Season 7. And it's just inexplicable. I mean, like the end of the game. Perfect example. It wasn't Brook, but just their lack of connectedness. They get to, what did they get it to, 5 or 3? What was
They
the
got it
lowest?
down to 2.
2?
This is season 8 with Brook Lopez. Sorry.
I'm not going to count. It's not good radio. They get it down to 2, and every possession the rest of the way, they leave a shooter wide open from 3. How?
Yeah.
Like you're just switching everything. It's not complicated. like one off-ball screen, and it's not like, the guy jets open like it's a hard, like Klay Thompson kind of. No, a guy just drifts out and nobody picks him up. How is that happening in the fourth quarter of a 2-point game where you can steal back home court and you've gotten your ass kicked for most of the series? Oh, we could imagine if they had won this game, how big of a lift that would be, how bad the Pacers would feel. And they just like, oh, whoops, we missed Miles Turner. Pascal Siakam was the one who hit a killer. I mean, the one on Nembhard hit on Giannis, just like, okay.
Yeah.
Nembhard's just clearly a playoff riser. The guy shot 29% from 3 in the regular season. He's been nails this series. Whatever. But every other 3 they made late, it's like, oh, we just lost a guy. Inexplicable. I mean, it's just like, how poorly coached is this team? Where they don't know what they're doing and they don't execute, and they always think they can just come back, and they never do because they're not as better than everyone else as they think. And they're worse coached than other teams. And they think they can just come back and win, and they can't. And that's been the story all year with this team. That's my rant. Am I off base?
No.
Is this unfair?
No.
I don't think it's unfair at all. I mean, we've seen this team for many years now, like 2 years, I should say 2 years now, I think 3 years a little bit. Just not be able to execute, not be able to know what they need to be doing, and it's just been a mess. We've seen this team be a mess for a while. We've seen this team be a mess under different coaching staffs. We've seen it with different machinations of players. We've seen this team just be a mess, and that's what they're stuck at, a mess.
At least when they would lose with Bud and they would do something stupid, everyone knew what they were doing together. Like, we disagreed with it, but it was like, Bud's felt like we're going to drop, we're not going to switch, or we're not going to switch much, or, we're going to drop like, I remember that Utah game where like Donovan Mitchell would just screen with another wing and just shoot wide open threes, but they were on the same page. It was stupid, but at least it was like a cohesive kind of like, we're all in this together, let's figure it out. This last season, it just feels like just no idea what's going on sometimes, which is just like, this is everyone's job. I mean, come on. Like, we don't know who's staying with who. And they get
If
outworked
I showed up to
by
my
everyone.
job like that, it wouldn't be good.
No. Just like, I don't know.
I think what you were just saying too, Ty, of it's the outworked element.
Yeah, it's
even
both.
Like, I'm not throwing him under the bus, but like Jericho Sims had a good performance tonight. The guy just couldn't grab a rebound to save his life. Like, it felt like his there
Flashes
was like
of Thon Maker.
Yeah, he
it's
lost
like-
3 and Doc went away from him. Still a +5 in his limited
and
minutes.
then that's what's crazy is like they could do it.
Yeah.
They threw out an all bench lineup at one point. I'm just like, why are you doing this? Like, this game,
And-
like, they're kind of in it, but they're kind of out. And they not only survived it, they got even closer. I think that was in the fourth quarter. Granted, it was like only 2 minutes or whatever it was. But it's like, again, there are pieces there. They have good answers to these pieces, but there's nothing to connect them from one stretch, one quarter to another, until it's like this identity that they're relying on of like, yeah, we can come back on teams. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, it could be something way more different than you having to like, I found the answers with 20 minutes to go before I had to finish this test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what are we doing here? But yeah, I think ultimately, like, I felt like tonight, without even I'm about to look at the box score, it just felt like the Pacers grabbed every killer like reload. You know what I mean? When they would miss a shot, and it's like, where are the Bucks? Oh, they're not
It's
even
crazy. The Bucks out rebounded them on the offensive end 12-7, and they both had 31 defensive rebounds. But Indiana wins the possession battle because they only turned it over 8 times. Bucks turned it
oh
over
my
15
God.
times, which was brutal. I mean, KPJ was he hit the prayer 3, but he was a disaster. And still, Rollins did not get a chance to play in the game, which I thought was bizarre. But I don't know. It feels to me like just the moment's too big right now for KPJ. They probably need to hope he can figure it out. I don't know. Not really. I don't know.
Soup du
rough.
jour. The guy, I don't know. I think
How many Cavaliers are going to throw soup?
J.R. Smith did it,
Yes.
He's the only one.
and Kevin Porter Jr.
I didn't think he threw soup.
No, he threw soup because that's how he got cut for the Cavs.
Oh, because they moved his locker.
They moved his locker and then he threw
Hmm.
soup, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're cutting you."
Said it was just food.
Yeah, I don't know if it was soup. I feel like
Am I
it's like a
mixing
urban
both of
legend
them
thing.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. We're
JR?
thinking
Oh,
every time a Cav throws something out, we think it's soup.
just like soup.
Soup.
Um,
We got to stop the Sakuta thing, Bucks admin.
yeah.
It's not cute when he's chucking the ball into the backboard for 5 straight possessions.
Sakuta tripping.
Oh, that was disgraceful. I mean,
When
that
you
was just a
especially
nasty
when you have
play.
the game close, you give them
Yeah, I
two free
mean,
throws and they
a
make
possession
after
and
that.
2 free throws. Yeah, that was look what the margin was at the end, or when they got it down to 2. Yeah, that was brutal. Chat said Seeks, our guy Seeks said sucks to lose the Bobby game. We have not. We should talk about Big Bob. In terms of positives, I mean, he's playing amazing on both ends. It's not even just the offense. His defense, and this is an indictment on the whole team and a credit to Big Bob. He has some of their best man defensive film clips from the series. Moving his feet, fighting. He realizes the physicality you can get away with. It feels like a lot of the Bucks don't. Like there are times when he guards Siakam where he just clearly puts both hands on him, like every single player does to Giannis, and realizes like, hey, it's Pascal Siakam. Like he's a strong player. Like I'm gonna get away with this sometimes. I'm gonna make him move me or make them call it versus like I'm just gonna float around this guy and hope that he doesn't make another open shot. And offensively, obviously, was dialed in. The Bobby Giannis combo has been electric since Bob came back from the suspension, and I think the Bucks that should be the starters. Bob and Giannis should start together, and it's a huge development. He's not going to shoot this well every game. I mean, he had 28 points on 57 from the field, 54 from 3. Did miss his only free throw. But also like 12 boards, 1 block, 1 assist, 0 turnovers, and a +1 in 32 minutes. Like everything else going on with the Bucks, the Big Bob minutes continue to be strong. There's your bright spot. Him and Giannis together have been amazing this playoffs.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Like this is Bobby Portis, who outside of Giannis was like the only one that kind of gave the Bucks a heartbeat in Game 6 of the NBA Finals in 21.
Oh
And
man,
you could make the argument that this night was better because he just was dialed in. Like I don't know when it just felt like trampling over many thoughts about Bobby because I'm excited. But given just how far, I think what they were down 40-30 at the end of the first. And I mean, they were down more than that throughout the first quarter. But it just felt like once he came in, it didn't matter how far down they were. He was going to give them something. And he's just working hard. Like a lot of the things that like we lament with Bobby, we just kind of live with. But those things haven't been a glaring issue this series.
He's been doing everything we've wanted him to do. It's not like Bobby's a black hole on offense and just like,
No.
dump the ball. It's not that at all. He's
No.
setting screens. He's working in the short roll. He's spacing out to 3. He's rebounding on the like offensive and defensive glass.
Yep.
He's doing everything that we've ever wanted him to do. And it's beautiful. And it's horrendous that it's wasted for losses against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah. He's
just hurt
kind
my
of a problem
shoulder
for them. Oh no. We can't have you missing time too. You and Tyler Smith add another asterisk to games 1 and 2. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe. I mean, until he hit the big 3 late, his and big threes late. I was actually yelling. I was like, they might actually do this game 1. I didn't totally believe it. I was more like, oh, they've not been put away yet until they were. This game, I was like, oh, they might actually be able to steal this one. But until that big 3 he hit in the corner toward the end, my favorite Big Bob play was he grabbed an offensive board, to your point, Rohan, kicks it out to Dame, sprints out there to screen for him. I was like, yo, this would have always been either the face-up jumper or the turnaround. He still has some of those, but he's picking his spots so much better. And it feels like a lot of his post-ups this series are like, yo, Nemhard's in here. Like I'm just gonna look at the bat. I'm gonna spin and be right here and be right at the rim. It's not. I'm gonna fade
It's
away on Siakam. It's chef's kiss stuff from
it's
Portis.
very instantaneous.
Yes.
It's not ball stopping.
It's not clear out. It's not
Yeah,
ISO. It's like, oh, I've got the match here. Let me put it up.
the offense is just clicking and he's like when we're talking about dialed in, it's like it's all rhythm. It's all like within moments of just getting the ball. Like that's Bobby at his best. Is that when he knows what he's gonna do maybe if it's predetermined or not, but when he has it going like that, it's just such a boost. And like Rohan said before, he just tore his rotator cuff. Uh, it's a
I
shame
am
that it
in
get.
pain, but
I know, but you're wincing.
It's that bad.
He was wincing quite a while after you
Oh
stopped
man.
talking. But it sucks. It sucks when you waste that game. Like,
Yeah.
especially when he's the only one off the bench that, from a scoring perspective, is giving them any juice. Like Kevin Porter Jr., a disaster. AJ
Yeah.
Green, I like him. He had a good game one, but defensively, he's overmatched. Like that is
Well,
another.
he picked up. I think it was his zone, but again, like he starts a possession on Siakam. I'm just like, why are you letting this happen?
Because no one fights on defense. And
Yeah,
then they're
no,
like,
and
Rick
yeah,
Carlisle is like, you. He's just like,
yeah.
I'm going to pick up the white boy on that lineup. um, and then is there anybody else I'm missing from the bench? I mean, Gary
Trent has not
Trent.
had a great series thus far. Had some big twos in game one. Was not very good in game two.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that is kind of what you get from the bench. But like, if we had expected 28 points from Bobby Portis going into this game, we would have thought this was a win.
Yeah.
Without,
If I knew it was still coming from the bench, I would have my doubts about how the starting lineup worked.
that's a good
I, I,
point.
wa- I want to get into all the bench players because I do think it's not as easy as just play them all more because not some of them did struggle. Real quick, Tommy S. Was this Bobby's second best playoff game ever? Game 5 Eastern Conference Finals is a compelling first one. I think if you look back at the finals, you could argue this is closer to 3. I mean,
Oh
it's hard.
yeah,
It's hard to rank a loss to the Pacers
in the
over a
first
finals
round.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a sensational Bobby game to be sure. But we're gonna talk about the bench players more. Probably talk about Giannis as well. But first, we're gonna talk about our friends from Prize Picks. We're Morbin, America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks, folks. We have compelling games every single time, every single night, excuse me. And this is your last chance in the basketball season, the men's basketball season, to get your favorite players from the court into your Prize Picks lineups, whether it's points, rebounds, assists, Bobby blocks, threes, whatever you want to do, PRA, combined stuff. Prize Picks is your way to do it. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 of those things. You could win up to 2,000 times your cash. That is a lot of cash. And you can get entered to win a VIP trip to the ship in the Takes Two Tickets sweepstakes starting in the play-in round here on Prize Picks. The best place to win cash while watching sports, whether it's the Milwaukee team breaking your heart, whether it's diving into another game to get your mind off of this. Prize Picks is the place to go. And Prize Picks puts their members first. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. So when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. And you don't even need to win. Notice I said play like the Bucks. You just have to participate to get that $50 when you play for the first time. Download the app today and use code Eurostep to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Eurostep to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. The AJ Green conversation is a very interesting one. I thought he did not have a fair shake in this game. I was pretty surprised that he was the last bench player to get into this game. And for a team that drew up multiple shots for Kyle Kuzma throughout, they really didn't get into the AJ had 1-3 and then he took a 2 later. That was a bad shot by him. He was out of rhythm. He shouldn't have done it. But they got him 1-3, and it wasn't until the second half. He didn't shoot it all in the first half. he was your only productive 3-point shooter in game one. He was 5 of 11, I believe, and they just didn't go back to him at all. I didn't understand that decision. We know that lineups with he and Giannis are typically very good. They barely play together, if at all. Like, I just think he was put in a bad spot. You're right, Jordan, that defensively they pick on him with Siakam. I will say he probably had the best defensive possession since the Sims block on McConnell, where in the third quarter he actually walled him from getting to that rim, which is what you have to do. If you let him get to the under the rim, he's probably going to do something annoying. Green just like totally walled him off. So it's not that he can't do anything defensively. He's not, a stopper across all players, but I think he should play more, and you have to get him shots too. Like I just think he's just kind of floating out there. You're wasting him. Like run him off a screen, like screen him for Giannis. We know how effective that's been, and we're just not seeing him very involved right now.
Yeah, it's like he's not a stop. He's not a Pascal Siakam stopper, but he's not like bad defensively. It's just like those matchups are just
Not compared to
really,
guys they're starting.
it's fair, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think it's a like real indication of where this Bucks offense is at, where they cannot get their Sam Cassell shot type guy any threes.
Whoa.
What?
I just did that comment out of nowhere. I love it.
No, just the celebration.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're very comparable players, but
No. I was like, I love that you're just like, you look at him and you're just like Sam Cassell.
just in terms of their mentality, like
Okay.
that type shooter, when you can't get
Yeah.
him any shots, that's bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad. I mean, the Pacers did make a more concerted effort to stick with him, like not help off him at all. But you got to figure it out. You have to.
Yeah, I'm looking at he played nearly 27 minutes in game one. Goes down to like 12 and a half, let's say, in tonight.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is a byproduct of Dame playing as much as he did. It doesn't excuse everything for his usage going down way down, especially when Kevin Porter Jr., who played 15 minutes compared to 29 and a half minutes in game one. Like, it wasn't all just because Dame was playing. I mean, the same could be said because Ryan Rollins goes from starting to being a DMP CD. So I agree. I just think this is the problem I think the Bucks have is like they have good players. You could easily make the argument. I would agree with a lot of it is that the better players are the ones that are existing on the bench, at least for the series.
Yeah.
But it does fluctuate when it's such a big blight on this team when one guy that you're hoping can be the difference maker, like a Kevin Porter Jr., just doesn't do it. Like Kyle Kuzma is the same way, but it's a different level of expectations. They have a lot of guys on the minimum contracts, not to just, I'm just lumping them in that kind of grouping that we're just like, okay, if this guy can pop, if that guy can pop. And I feel like out of all of those guys, I mean, like Torian Prince is certainly not it. Gary Trent Jr. would spin sharp highs, sharp lows, but like he's still playable, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the lot that the Bucks are in, and you have to make of it what you will, but it sucks that it just fluctuates so crazily like that.
Well, and I want to hear what you have to say, Rohan, but the issue is, and kind of what we said coming into the series was, there's a lot of options. It's not going to be easy to pick the right ones. It's going to be very challenging for Doc Rivers, and I don't think he's been close to hitting the mark thus far.
Yeah, it's really strange because you see these groups of people who are on the same team, they're all in the Bucks. And have you guys, this is going to be a wild comparison. Have you guys seen the latest, like the last couple Fast and Furious movies?
I have not.
No.
Neither have I. Okay, good.
Okay.
So I'm going somewhere with this, I promise.
Of course.
What if you ask a meaningless question to set up your analogy?
Well, okay, it's related to the Fast and Furious movies. Apparently, with these movies, with those movies nowadays, they just match up like certain people. Like no one else talks to each other.
Yes.
Like
Oh yeah.
it's just Vin Diesel and oh god, whatever what's her name? Someone
Michelle
else.
Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And then it's Tyrese and whatever that other guy is. I should have thought about this ahead of time.
Jason Statham.
No, not Jason Statham. Oh my god. This is really
Ludacris?
Yes, Ludacris, thank you. It's like
We're
those two
getting there,
things-
folks.
and it's like they don't interact with each other, but they only interact with those separate groups of people. That feels like the Bucks because it's crazy. And I see this lineup at the end where it's like Kyle Kuzma is in with like Giannis and Dame and Gary and Bob. And I'm like, have they played this lineup once this season?
Did you look?
I haven't.
That one felt like a strange group. I would say probably very, 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 very
And
few
here's
minutes, if any.
here's the thing. Theoretically, I get it. It makes sense. You want to be able to have those types of lineups, but you missed your shot to really try it, right? You should have been trying this stuff earlier. You should have been trying like, hey, can we get these guys comfortable with each other? Because it's been like hockey line changes for the last like month.
The two groups, baby.
It's
the good group and the bad group.
It's what it's been. Like have Torian Prince and AJ Green shared the court? Has that been a thing? Has Brooke and Gary shared the court? Has that been a thing? We haven't seen those types of lineups. Like recently, I should say. Like we've just seen specific groups, and when you try to mess with the lineups, no one knows what to do because you haven't done it.
Yeah. Tommy makes a good point. Some of these you, of course, and I think you know this, Rohan, like Kuz and Bobby have just been active in very few games together. So some of that is outside of their control. But to your point, like we do not see many like Dame, Green, Prince kind of groups, and
does
those guys
Prince
have all been around.
Has he ever played with like these other three guys like recently this season? We don't see that. Like Torian Prince, like we haven't really talked about him. He's not being put in a good position to succeed. Like credit to him, he started taking more shots early, then he became himself again. But
the transition, him in transition was just abysmal.
Just give the ball to Giannis and get out of
it's
the way.
Not that
they
hard.
Make simple things look so difficult.
Does he think he's Malcolm Brogdon? Like,
yeah, yes.
It's crazy.
He's like, oh, I got to time it out perfectly and like throw this lob. No, just give him the ball and go to the corner. Let him do all of the work.
Because he's good at it. He's the best.
Literally, he gets so few of these opportunities, and they get two of them, and Giannis gives it up to Prince to get it back. Huge mistake.
I got it.
The next one, it starts with Prince, and yeah, thanks, Giannis.
Giannis threw me the ball. That means he wants me to do something.
Yeah, I also believe in myself to make this play. Thank you. I will say he had an impact defensively. He had a couple steals. I was glad he shot. He had 4 assists again. He had like 3 assists in game 1. He does some things fine. We've had this conversation many times, Rohan. He's fine, right? Like, he's probably underpaid, and people will yell at me, whatever. He's probably underpaid. It's just like a guy who does a little thing on both ends and just floats around and should not be a starter, should certainly not be a 2-guard. But like, yeah, if this was a competent team and he was just like, I'm going to come in and play some 3-4 for 20 minutes a night, sure. I wouldn't be mad at Torian Prince almost ever. He's relatively inoffensive. He's just there. Some guys are going to be like that. No team has 10 Nemhards who are like flying around and making gutsy plays, right? Like, that's just not how NBA teams work. But they're like, all right, you're going to pick up Tyrese Halliburton at 3/4 court. You're going to be our only shooter. So they clearly told him before this game, like, shoot every 3. And he did, and it worked. See, they were going in, and they stopped doing that. I think the transition did kill him a little bit. And he forced some turnovers. Like, he was fine. I wouldn't have downstocked him for this. Or Kuz. I thought both of them played better. That unit just doesn't work together.
I think a lot of, I don't know if it contributes to, they have options to turn to. It's just a lot of like redundancies. Like Kyle Kuzma and Torian Prince, in terms of how this Bucks team functions, Torian Prince is a way better shooter than Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma shouldn't be a better defensive player than Torian Prince, but given what Torian Prince is asked to do defensively, you could make the case that Kyle Kuzma is a better defender, not this series. But like, it's just a lot of, you're drawing from the same flavors or same shades. And it's like, eventually these things have to connect. They have to overlap. And it's like, again, it's the Giannis and Dame, now that Dame is back, like they're so two big temples to build around. And it connects with two guys one night, and then the next night it'll connect with two different guys. Like that's the biggest problem with all of this, and it contributes to why like we see lineups dating back to the horrible start to the year. We've seen so many different lineups of this team, and there's obviously been a lot of moving parts. Whether that's because of a trade or Bobby being suspended or injury or whatever. And I think it just like all contributes to why it's like it shouldn't have to be this like guessing game of like you got 2 out of 3 right. Good job, coach. You know what I mean? Like it eventually should lead to pay dirt. I just it sucks. I keep saying it sucks, but it does.
It sucks, and now you have to win 4 or 5.
Yeah. That's the other thing. They objectively played better tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, without a
They
doubt.
shot the ball better tonight. The offense looked a lot more crisp. Like, I mean, it helps when you hit shots, but like I just felt like their overall actions, the things that Giannis is doing, especially when they're mounting their comeback in the fourth quarter, he was right under the hoop, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm tall. I could just jump." Like he was doing everything that like unlocks that rim running center, whatever you want to call him, that version of Giannis. And they were right there. The turnovers bit them in the ass, and the defense being as bad as it was, like it shouldn't have taken those so many different defensive possessions or the offensive. I felt like when the transition turnover from Gary Trent Jr. in like the second quarter, when they were,
yeah, it was brutal. He just didn't shoot it for some reason.
and then they could never get past like a 9-point deficit for like what felt like 2 hours, but was probably like 20 minutes of actual game time. It was just, they did everything well enough to keep within distance of the Pacers, and then when it was time to like, okay, we have it, it was 4 possessions of like, yep, they're hitting shots, the defense isn't there, and that's your ball game.
So it turns out when your starting lineup is Dame, 3 power forwards, and Brook Lopez, it makes it kind of hard to balance the floor. The Bucks' number 1 lineup through the lineup data is live. Number 1 5-player lineup in plus minus, raw plus minus through 2 games. What do you think it is? This goes back to something Jordan said.
Is it the all bench lineup?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Their number 1 lineup in 14 minutes, which obviously is a small sample, is KPJ, who's been terrible this playoffs, AJ Green, Gary Trent, Bobby Portis, and Jericho Sims. 3 guards, Bobby and Sims. It's plus 6. That's their most successful 5-man group. I will say, on a positive note, number 2, the only other lineup higher than plus 2 is Dame, Green, Trent, Portis, Giannis, which is just one of those like, hello, obviously that should be a good lineup. Those are 5 of your best, maybe your 5 best players at this point in the year, like 5 of your best players for sure. They only played 1 minute together, and they were plus 4 in 1 minute. 1 minute, Doc. And he said, that's enough of that. Let's get, I think right after that, they got Brook Lopez back in the game. Meanwhile, the starters from game 1 are minus 15, and the starters from game 2 are minus 9. So your 2 worst lineups, despite each of them only playing in 1 of the 2 games, are the units that you start the games with. Not ideal. Not good, I would say.
I think the results are inconclusive.
I can't tell.
I've been Stockholmed.
Stockholm syndrome. Brook and Giannis are minus 27. Giannis and Prince are minus 28. They're just getting killed. And I mean, clearly, I don't have to keep giving the stats. Like the starters get absolutely nuked. Portis and AJ plus 8 is your best duo in terms of 2-man lineups.
Wow.
So do you
There's a
think
lot
there
of
should be a
Pat
change to
Connaughton
the starting
groups.
lineup?
I can't tell. I'm still considering.
I mean, is there enough evidence, Ty, at this point?
Wow, Bobby and Giannis are only net neutral through 40 minutes in 2 games, which is
because
worse than I
Giannis
thought.
is playing ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a positive plus minus in any of these.
But this is only with Portis, so not obviously none of the starter minutes really. I thought it'd be
Oh,
maybe a
true.
slight positive, but it's better than the clear net negative the starters are obviously, and it's also a more tired Giannis by that point in the game.
Yeah, free throws tail off as the game proceeds.
Yeah,
He was what, 5 of 5, and then 1 of 5 the rest of the way.
I've got to give it up. The guy with the sign to count is a pretty good bit.
It's funny.
It's
I don't
good.
know
Four
how
of
he
four.
broke
He's
it. I
4 of
was like,
4.
Yeah, I didn't get that
getting
either.
physical with the sign too.
I think it was the inside because he was turning it on the inside and it kind of like snapped on the
Oh,
inside.
okay. Maybe it got
Oh.
caught and it broke.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, did someone break it?
Also, Melanie Ricks was like, "Oh, these people are from Wisconsin with their hunting uniform." No, they're trying to hunt deer, Melanie.
Yeah, they were wearing the same outfits last year for game 6. It's a good bit.
Yeah.
It's a good bit.
It's good bits from those particular Pacer fans.
There's no Pat Bev this year ready to throw a ball at anybody.
Hopefully
Oh,
by
less
the-
lawsuits this time.
Yeah.
Also,
Kevin Porter
someone's getting
Jr., I'm
ejected.
watching you, buddy.
Someone's getting ejected in game 3.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
it's brewing.
It's
going to happen.
brewing. This
We've
team-
gotten multiple
Yeah.
technicals in each game. It's going to happen.
The
It's-
technicals today were weak.
They were.
None of those should have been techs. They were both double techs, so
'Cause
it didn't impact the game.
Gary
It
Trent.
was so minor.
Gary and
Mathurin.
Pascal, and then Gary and Mathurin, right? And then Pascal and Bob.
The Pascal and Bob one, especially, I
didn't
was like,
get
"There's
that.
nothing there."
Or was
They're
it Pascal
trying to
and
be.
Giannis?
No, it was Bob.
It was
Giannis
Bob.
has been the peacemaker the whole series. The refs respect it. I feel like they're just trying to tamp it down, and I get it, but also like just tell them that like it's okay to just tell them to go back to their corners and sit for a beat, and then if it keeps going on, maybe do it. They're jumping to the double techs. The review for the first kerfuffle, I was like, we're wasting so much time now.
We've lost so many recipes.
It's just they're just jawing like let's play ball. Too many reviews generally. Reviewing the clear path foul or whatever transition take as well. Like just call it.
Just have confidence in yourself.
Brian
They
could have gotten
don't.
a coffee.
I could have.
Yeah.
Except the coffee shop's closed. But I
Oh,
could have
Sinks
gotten the
is saying
coffee.
TA ejected from courtside. That would be epic.
Oh,
That'd be
I think something
iconic.
actually
If
happened.
someone's got to do it, TA, you got to
Can
take it from the
Indy
team,
get
man.
a free throw? No, right?
No,
No,
They can't.
because he's not a.
Because he's
player.
not actively. They
I
just
think
they have to kick him out.
That would be the best promotion for Thanalysis
Oh yeah.
ever.
Oh my god, yeah.
Look at the
'Cause, yeah, they can't do-
podcaster.
He can get
Him
kicked
and-
out for sure, but
Oh
Him
yeah.
and Dr. Dave should both get kicked out to promo the episode.
that's true because they did. an
That's
episode
next
together.
level marketing. Yeah.
That is.
Dr. Dave getting kicked out would be. What are you doing, refs? What has Dr. Dave ever done besides save lives?
And do that motion thing.
Yeah, getting everybody up.
Do
So game
do one
3
of those, but knock the ball out of someone's hands. You're out of here.
You're out here, Dr. Dave.
So
That
game
was a
3 is on
vicious
Friday.
act. Yeah. Well, thanks for reminding me.
So I'll ask the same question I asked you guys last episode. What's the starting lineup for game 3?
So I'm glad you asked. I meant to do this after the prize picks read. I think we all think it should change. Doc is hinting, teasing us that it may change. Jordan, you first. What do you want to? What group would you start? They say Doc's out of here. Jordan Treske's our new head coach.
Buckle up, everybody. You don't want that. See, what I would do, there's a lot of different directions you can go here because I think there's the valid Brooke for Bobby switch.
Yeah, I mean, TP and Kuz have to be out there.
It's contractually obligated. They're paying Doc.
Contractually obligated. If it was me,
They
I
bought
would
him
be
new golf clubs.
if it was me, Torian Prince would be out of there. I don't. It doesn't help that Kevin Porter Jr. is just playing terribly. Like you can't do you pull that card and be like, yeah, I have confidence in him to play well, even though he's shown very little signs of that actually on the court? And even so, like, I mean, it was kind of telling that once the kerfuffle happened with him and Thomas Bryant, even though he didn't get a tech for that, Doc was like, "You're sitting.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
mean,
rely on
he
you."
had to.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, of course. Um, I mean, it would be really funny if he was just like, "Yeah, Ryan, let's get back in."
That's what I would do. That's what I would
I
do.
think honestly, I
that's
think
what I would do.
I worry about it offensively because I think they need a shooter. Rollins for Prince is interesting because I think Rollins is probably the best on-ball defender that they have on Halliburton.
Yeah.
Maybe Gary Trent Jr. for Prince. Like I just get rid of Prince.
I
I
almost feel like
would take
Go ahead,
Kuz
Rohan.
out. I'm taking Kuz out.
I'm taking both of them out.
I'm doing Dame, Prince,
Oh.
Gary, Giannis, Bob.
And
I don't-
Jordan, are you doing?
I would think I will go because I think
Wait,
the
what
only
did-
way
did I
that
say
Ryan
Jordan?
Rollins actually plays is that he starts. So I'm just going to do Rollins for Prince.
You're the coach. You could play him off the bench.
No, Doc Holmes has got
No.
me. It's seeped into my brain here. No, I don't. I was always just kind of like I don't see the purpose of going bench to or Kuzma going to the bench. I think the way that he functions the best in this series, the way that he was driving with purpose and getting into the paint, like outside of those two terrible misses to start the game, like he's getting there.
Yeah.
And like that gives a lift. Like he can't hit a three to save his life. It's not something that I was really expecting him to do, frankly, going into the series.
No.
But at least he's giving them some pop and some off the dribble juice that way. That I think as a bench scorer would be interesting. But now
I
again,
agree.
you're going back to he's a good option, but he's just not a great one.
I think it is interesting what he was able to do because he did kind of get to the rim whenever he wanted because the Pacers, outside of Turner and then basically just Siakam, just not a very big team. Like even Obi Toppin, he's kind of big, but not
Play
in an
small.
imposing way. Yeah. So there is some utility there for Kuz.
And if Kuz can't get past Thomas Bryant, what are we doing?
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, he had a good possession on Giannis that he's going to tell his grandkids about in this game.
he loved showing that.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Or he did like something like, yeah.
Yeah, I would do the same, to be honest.
If I stopped Giannis, that'd be I'd find every photo I can and line my walls.
And then I'd probably medically retire from the bruising of trying to stand up to one of his drives.
Oh yeah, I'll have so much internal bleeding, it'll be done.
Dumb.
I already saw your shoulder.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what did I say? I said Dame, Prince, Green. Giannis.
Tommy thinks
No, you said Gary.
I said I meant
Gary for-
I meant Gary. I meant Gary. I meant
Over
Gary.
Prince?
Gary for Kuzma.
Okay,
Right?
let me try this again.
Would say the full five again. Chat thinks you're saying
Dame.
Prince on accident.
No, I'm saying Prince on purpose.
Okay.
Dame, Prince, Gary, Giannis, Bob.
Mm.
That's not in order, by the way. I would not play Prince at the 2.
I think they're saying the Doc Holmes gotten to you.
I think Prince,
I would
it
go.
could be. He's overtaxed. He's still a pretty good player. He's not
Yeah.
been like. I mean, technically, he's been a net negative. Yes, but
Yeah.
like, it's not his
the
fault.
biggest. I don't think it's not totally his fault too. I'm gonna go radical. I'm gonna go Dame, Rollins, Green, Giannis, Portis.
Whoa.
I want to be fast. I want to be stretchy, and I'm willing to, like, if Rollins doesn't hit a shot and they capitalize, I'll trot out Prince in there. You know, I'm not married to that lineup for 20 minutes a game or whatever, but I like Rollins guarding Halliburton. I'm a little small. I know they're going to target Siakam on my smalls. I'm just going to live with it. You know, I'll dig in with Giannis. I'll use Giannis as a helper. Probably, well, maybe you need Kuzma out there, actually. I
He's
think
not a
having
good help defender.
No, not for that. To put him on Turner and just like go stand next to Miles
It's at
Turner.
least interesting.
It's crazy to me that like the neutralizing Miles Turner is like, do you have someone who can just stand next to him? In the Bucks for most of their 1.5 series are just no, we don't. Sorry, we don't have anyone capable of doing that. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you know what? New answer. I might go Prince too. This is devious. No, I'm gonna go Kuz. I'm gonna go Dame, Green, Kuz, Giannis, Bob.
Dame, Trent.
Green. What is going on with you? This shoulder injury is spreading to your head.
Don't separate your
Dame-
shoulder when you have Stockholm syndrome.
No,
That's
those two
the
things,
primary lesson of this podcast.
they scale.
So say it again.
Dame, AJ Green.
Okay.
Honestly, like one of Prince or Trent. Oh, sorry, God damn it. Now I'm also one of Prince or Kuzma. I'm leaning Kuzma for the size. Bobby and Giannis.
Yeah, I see it. I think
I'm starting with Green on Halliburton, and I want to see how it goes.
See, that's the thing. You and I talked a lot about this like a few months ago, where it's like Green versus Gary, who I think we're leaning Gary a little, even though he's struggled.
Ultimately, I
offensively.
don't care. Give me
Yeah.
either, and I'd be happy. I think it's close. I don't think there's one decisive.
Yeah,
I just think
we've reached the same thing we did last time.
Yeah, one of the smalls for one of Kuzma Prince, I think, and Bob for Brooke, which we all agree on, just gives you a huge. It just balances the floor. They just need that,
It's almost like those lineups succeed again this series,
and they
right?
do.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Is there any utility for Brook in this series?
I think you can get away with not playing Brook Lopez anymore.
I'm
I'm not saying it's the best idea. I'm saying you can get away with it.
I would. Yeah, I mean, it's. You can definitely get away with it. It's tough. I mean, I don't know if you come back from that with Brooke going into free agency, but he's also 37 and has been kind of an issue against a lot of athletic teams, which is like all of the non-Bucks teams in the league. So, I think you could get minutes with him if you needed them, but I would try to line it up with Bryant, and I would probably just try and play zone. And if they start to bust the zone, I'd just go away from him again. I just really don't like the way they switch or drop with him.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty much he's only playing against starters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's their
Yeah,
best lineups. It's their most. It's their good group for the Pacers.
It's their very good group.
Yeah.
He does still give you something offensively, like he scores when they go to him.
He got the offense going a little bit tonight.
The
at least
first 5 points, yeah.
Like, what is this substitution pattern? Sorry, I was just trying to like look at like
Doesn't
Giannis,
it?
Bob
It was crazy
lineups,
today. Yeah.
like and throughout like these 2 games, and I'm like, oh, look at what are these minutes played in 2 games? There's a total of 8 lineups where Giannis and Bob have played together. 2 of them have played more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There are 5 1-minute lineups and a 2-minute lineup. Like
every
what's going
stoppage of
on?
play, he like switches one more guy in or out. For a guy who talks about the 2 groups, he like the second group is actually 15 groups.
Yeah.
There's one group, and then there's the ship of Theseus, Bobby Giannis lineup, which is always changing.
This is not a new observation. I'm very certain our fans of the Discord have picked this up watching Doc operate this team. It will never not make me laugh that he does his classic like walking on the court timeout. The Bucks are down 8-0. It's like they had to call a timeout with 9:30 in the first, or not, like it's a quick timeout. And he's like, yeah, this line was not working. Go to commercial, come back to commercial. Who do they take out? No one.
No one.
No, we gotta chop it up again. We gotta like reorient ourselves, you know.
Well,
and sometimes I'm not gonna like lie, like sometimes it works, but it is just so funny where it's like it's still not gonna get you where you need to go. Like that is ultimately the prevailing thought from there.
Well, it's like the way they're losing, it's just like we absolutely cannot cover Anytime we switch Lopez onto Halliburton, anytime we drop against Turner, we're cooked immediately. It's a wide open three immediately, and they're like, "Let's run it again. Let's clean it up."
Hey, Greg, you got
favorite
any
part-
harsh words for this group? Yeah, you guys got to feel them defensively. Get on them. Let's go to zone.
And I love the first sub too in the game. I believe was they had Bob in for Brook, which like is a good plan. But a Damian Lillard and 4 power forward lineup is just insane against like this young, fast team. It's literally the lineup.
It's
Dame
crazy.
and 4 fours. It sounds like a poker hand.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Doc's
What are we
4 of a kind
watching?
lineup.
What are we watching?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
It's crazy. The more we talk about this, the more I'm amazed. I've watched every minute of this, and I'm still amazed.
You're
You know what series
essentially watching the Fast and Furious movies just on a
I
basketball court.
am.
Yeah, with
When
the
is
carnage.
Dom Toretto gonna jump and land on a car?
Bob Toretto. It's Bob
Dom
Portis.
Toretto and Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know what the characters. Some of them those are characters. Some of them are actors. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he does the opposite with the starters, though. It's not like, let's try one different guy. It's like, we need this group for 7 straight minutes, no matter what.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like, oh, Dame, Gary, AJ, Bob, Giannis was pretty good in 62 seconds. Never again. We're done.
It's just he's spinning a wheel in his head every time.
I feel like he's like committed to getting into the all bench group at this point, and it's their best lineup.
It's
who
their
can
best
argue,
lineup.
but-
It's the lineup that is it was what people thought of Bud. It was what people certainly thought of Doc at any stop that he's played at. And when I've like seen this unfold this series, I was like, this is gonna be a disaster. It has not been. It's crazy.
Jericho Sims, baby. And they're just athletes. They switch everything, and Indiana's like, it's like they're totally helpless offensively.
Is that not
Yeah.
just the theme of the playoffs in general? Is just athletes just switching
Yeah.
everything? That's just
Yeah.
like I've watched every single playoff. I even have Wolves Lakers on as we're recording this. Like I've watched every single postseason game, trying
I
to think
can't
of
watch
any
Cavs. I can't watch the Cavs. Too painful knowing we were 100,000% right that Kenny Atkinson was clearly the right hire, and he's made them into a legit contender.
They're a
And we're
juggernaut.
here watching Doc and the 4 fours. The worst Vegas lounge group you've ever heard in your life.
That's an Atlantic City. It's not even Vegas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Sorry, Pete. What was I?
That's
even
at
saying?
Lake of the Torches up in Lac de Flambeau, Wisconsin.
I don't know none of what you said is in the English dictionary.
It's in the French dictionary. Well, the first part is
Dr.
English, the second part
Flambeau.
is
That's what it's
French.
called now.
Oh my god! What was it? Yeah, the theme of this playoffs is just defense and athleticism and just versatility. And then you see Dame and the 4 fours, and I can't unsee that lineup now. Thank you, Ty.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like the Bucks are playing a different sport. Jaden
Yeah,
worst
Naismith's probably
sport.
like, I like this. And everyone else is like, bro, that was like 150 years ago. What are you doing?
Yeah. Giannis has been amazing. I said we were going to talk about him, and I
No, we didn't talk
forgot.
about Giannis. He's the best.
Struggled a little bit rebounding when he was under the rim late in the 4th. And I mentioned it. I don't mean to call him out. He's obviously the only reason they're even close in this series. He continues to, every time I'm like, I feel like he's not making the same impact. I look at the stats, and it's like 26, 15, and 5 on 66% shooting. I'm like, oh, I'm just taking him for granted. Okay. He ended up with 34, 18, and 7 on 70% shooting. Excuse me, Giannis, for shortchanging you there. And the Bucks lost his minutes by 11, which is an unmitigated disaster. No, it's not his fault. It's that we've talked a lot the whole postseason about the lineup. That's the fault. But Giannis is clearly still good enough to will them to being in these games. The other guy we have not talked about really is Jericho Sims, outside of Jordan calling him a Butterfingers. They got to try him and Giannis at some point. I know why they're hesitant to do it. He is just doing so much for them. Even when he can't get the rebound, he gets another stop defensively. He's so good. He switches out. Like, is he their
They
best
need to.
perimeter defender
He might be.
in the
They need
series?
to keep him this summer. That's what I've
Oh
been
my
seeing. They
God.
absolutely need to keep him. You need to re-sign him. You have his bird rights. Do what you need to do.
He's averaging 0 points, and I love him.
It's the best. It's awesome. I like. I've never seen a player have more of an like rise above like his peers on the defensive end like I've seen him do on this team. Now the bar is in hell for
Yeah.
Bucks
Yeah.
perimeter defenders this year. Like
Yeah.
that's a given. But he can inside out, it doesn't matter. He's locking down. Doesn't
He's
matter.
so good.
Just don't ask him to touch the ball. Just
Well, they can't get
unless
him
he's
robbed.
unless
he's
his
got
head
touch
is
the-
above the rim.
He's gonna touch the ball eventually, and hopefully he can touch it more. And
Well, he
hold
should
on to
only
it.
be catching. He should only be catching lobs or moving in the dunker. That's why I like to see him play with Giannis, because I do think Giannis is sneakily one of their best lob throwers. Like,
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Yes.
yeah.
For
But,
all
like,
the spacey concerns of like, what does a Giannis Brook pick and roll look like? It's like they kind of got it down by the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
You
even in
know?
the playoffs, like half of the Brook buckets at the rim are just like Giannis sees him find that crease and throws it up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, the spacing concerns of Giannis and Sims. Sure, I mean, you start him with Kuzma and Brook, who can shoot, but his teams don't really care. Like, if you're going to start him with Kuz and those guys anyway, play him with Sims some, 'cause Sims is giving you so much defensively. And I know we've said the Giannis Sims lineups. What's the defensive rating? Like 85?
Like
In
83,
season,
I
like,
think.
They've been
me check.
incredible.
For 12 minutes and 46 seconds or whatever it's because it's one of
Yeah.
500 periods.
Well, yeah, 1,000%, yes. And yeah, so right now he's only playing the non-Giannis minutes, which is he's a lot of the reason they're winning those minutes is they just clamp up. I mean, defensively or offensively, those groups are just kind of cooked, which not Sims's fault. He's out there with no Dame, no Giannis. KPJ is playing poorly. Good luck scoring unless Gary's knocking down his twos. But there's something more there. And I mean, Rohan, you just said it. Like every team has got these athletes. They found a guy for free who is giving you like what Gafford was giving the Mavs on their run last year. And you got to get more out of him.
I agree. I mean, it's why he's a very unique player. It's someone. It is crazy but I think Rohan's right. I think he's been the most competent on-ball defender.
And
then
their backup
even on like
five.
TJ McConnell, who
Yeah.
the guy just runs around like the Tasmanian devil and just like, one of the most infuriating players I've ever seen play basketball.
The shot he hit on Sims in this game, he got it up
was crazy
so
good.
fast.
Yeah.
He went flying. Like he wasn't pushed. He like literally flew through the air, starting before he even got all the way under the rim to get it up fast enough because he remembered Sims got him. An incredible basketball play.
It's again, he's one of those, not to just go into like cliche mode, probably like one of the biggest examples of like a guy that you hate to watch if he's not on your team, and if he's on your team, you love him because it's
If the Bucks signed him next year, he'd shoot 30% from the field. There's no way I would trust.
Yeah, it would never
him.
work out.
No.
in 30
No.
Medium to high leverage minutes.
Oh God.
I know it's crazy. It's only 30 minutes.
One game.
Giannis and Sims have an offensive rating of 107.9, which is not like, the best
bad.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Defensive rating of 79.3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So maybe the number I had was probably maybe some garbage time or something in there. Huh.
Let me check.
Well, it's fine. They're great defensively.
Yeah.
I bet Giannis misses hanging the hat on that. I think he'd rather win defensively.
It's certainly rough. It's certainly rough. I mean, this is the trade-off when they made the move for Dame. It's like, yeah, they're going to have better offensive performances in the playoffs. It's like, oh, this is what it looks like when you make that trade-off. Like, they just don't, like, it should not be this bad because they have tried to find some perimeter defenders and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
It's not been a lot of shots, but of the few that they have had to make, but it's like, it is so glaring And as much as
Yeah.
like we kind of thought that they would be able to piece it together, it's like that was my biggest worry going into the series. Is like at least last year you kind of had something with Pat Bev, but like again, you lost in 6 games. That's on a high bar of something that is like should be the standard, and
Yeah.
it's arguably worse.
Also, that is 2 minutes filtered out. Raw numbers are 32 minutes, 108.3 offensive rating, 83.6 defensive
There's
rating.
the 83. I knew it.
You want to hear another stat that's maybe a little uplifting?
Yeah, we could
Yes.
use that high note to end on here.
So the Bucks in the regular season were 500 on the road. At
Great.
home, they were 27-14, which was the 8th best record in the league for home records.
No.
So they play a lot better at home. And also the Pacers are a really good home team. They even had a better
Yeah.
home record than the Bucks.
Yep.
So if you're saying, hey, how can the Bucks get back in the series? It's do what you've been doing a lot of the season, and that's winning games at home.
Hey, series doesn't start till the road team wins one.
I hope this series starts, man.
Well, not soon.
Yeah, not soon. Not in the next 2 games.
Yeah, it can't start in the next game.
No, start it in game 5. But yeah, I mean, like, look, if you just look at like their positioning, of course they're still in it. They lost 2 games on the road. Both were contested, as bad as they felt at times. You know, first game maybe more of a fake comeback. This game they were right there. I mean, down 2 in the final minutes, like a very close game. They literally just need to be smarter. I think I know we're calling it the Bobby game. I think Bobby can give you another mid-20s scoring game on pretty good efficiency. Like that's not
I think
insane
even
out of the realm of possibility.
I think what Marcus
Especially
said
if
it
he's starting.
Yeah.
that too. I think what Marcus said coming out of halftime, I think like we would have lived with that. What Bobby's stat line was then, it was like 14 points on like very efficient shooting.
Yeah. Well, and kind of evened out. He had a pretty rough shooting game 1. So if he
Mhm.
just finds a level between them and plays more and we minimize the bad lineups, I think that's enough. You can win. Like they can win this series 100%. The confidence for me is low because they've just approached it pretty poorly, I think. And also some of the bench guys have not played. Mostly KPJ, a little bit Green. I wouldn't even say Trent's not been great. So their players have been more inconsistent since the playoffs started, which was always going to be a problem with this many role players. But I still think they're definitely live. We just need to, if we see the graphic with Dame, Giannis, Trent, Kuzma. Oh my God. I see how hard this was now, Rohan.
Thank you.
With Dame, Giannis, Lopez, Kuzma, Prince again before game 3, I'm gonna feel very bad.
That's like you make a change mid-series.
Joe Prunty?
It's not Greg Buckner, I'll tell you that.
No. I'm a Jaeger guy. Jaeger, Kalamian were cooking last playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Now they don't do anything because we've brought in 5 more coaches.
Yeah. What's Doc's son doing? Isn't Doc's son on the staff?
Yes.
Yeah. Player development guy. Hope Tyler Smith's doing better.
Get well soon. If Tyler Smith is questionable, maybe we have a shot.
Yeah. Asterisk on the series.
Yeah.
They post Friday morning. Tyler Smith is available for game 3.
They should. Imagine how they interviewed Dame sitting courtside during the. Imagine Tyler Smith's just sitting there the whole media availability, just waiting for someone to ask him.
Yeah, my ankle
Hey,
hurts.
Eric, you wanna
Jim,
come on over, Jim? You wanna?
It's
ask
like
me
that.
about
It's like that
my
photo.
status?
What was it? Zion and Goga in pre-draft, and it's just everyone's at Zion, and no one's with Goga.
You guys notice my ankle wrap has been severely reduced. Anybody want to tweet this? Jim, you want to blue sky this?
You want to skeet it, as Jordan would say?
Yeah, you want to ski? Oh my
Skeet it.
God! I hope Tyler Smith does not ask any reporters to skeet his ankle.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to lead to the dub we're looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh.
we took a Shannon Sharp turn at the end here,
Oh my
Rohan. I think that means it's time. I need to watch something less stressful than the Bucks, so I'm gonna go put the pit on Max next.
Okay. Oh,
Not sure if people are gonna get that joke. It's a very stressful show. That's the joke.
Set in Pittsburgh, right?
The ER in Pittsburgh, yeah.
Is it actually set in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I thought you were just riffing.
Because Pat McAfee showed up on it.
Yeah.
This guy's hurt. This guy's hurt.
No notes on that impression. Tear your sleeves off first next time, though.
Say you think Stephen A. Smith is the worst, allegedly.
Is that what did you say that?
Did you not see that? Who was that guy they brought on?
Oh, the wrestling guy.
Yeah, and he was just going off.
I saw him get choked out, and his face was turning purple in a WWE event last night or something. Boy, I can do that.
Things are happening at ESPN, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like their standards have changed very dramatically.
Well, at Fox Sports, I think has the same stuff going on. So
yeah,
things are happening.
Worse.
They're putting NBC in entertainment, sports, and programming network.
NBC and Amazon relatively save us. Relatively.
Meanwhile, Chris Haynes, he's out here just like us on YouTube.
Also,
Chris Haynes is we're getting rid of squatters. We're doing.
Did you see the Shaq thing?
Yeah,
Shaq had to run and take a dump, and they blamed his olive oil.
Oh,
well, that would cause.
Wait, does he have his own line of olive oil?
No, he's drinking olive oil.
He's taking shots of olive oil. Apparently.
It's like a thing to help your gut or something.
Yeah,
that's what Starbucks did. The Olito. Do you remember this?
No,
that's
Starbucks. Starbucks was. I don't know if it's on their menu because they downsized their menu very.
Oh my god, it is. Why is that a thing?
So they introduced the Olito, and when it was introduced, they used industrial grade olive oil.
Oh god, that doesn't sound good.
There was a lot of people complaining because of the reaction.
They got the Doc bubble guts.
I think worse.
I feel like that's underexplored. He missed a whole game.
Yeah.
It's because they won, and it was like a blowout.
Yeah, for two people.
Oh my god!
Why is this a thing? Why is
Olito? It's from Italy. This is what they do in Italy. I was like, I don't think they do that.
No, they make pizza with it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know, man.
Oh, we got a Giannis quote.
Oh god.
Okay, what's the Giannis quote?
I'm being down 0-2. It's not something that you have to panic, but also it's not something that you have to be loose. It's life or death. It's life or death. That's how it is for me.
Well, yeah, you have to win the next game, otherwise the series is over.
Yes.
Yeah, it's life or death.
But I think he said this even before the series started. At this point, just call out who you don't think is fighting hard enough. At least behind closed doors, Giannis.
No, do it in public. I don't care.
No, I mean that's you don't have to do that. But go in front of the team and be like, this guy is not keeping up. We gotta play the guys who keep up.
And he's pointing at Doc Rivers.
Remember his comment about the all bench group after the Detroit game?
Yeah.
Why aren't those guys? They could be the starters.
He needs his moment. Remember when, again, it's an impossibly high standard for this Bucks group to reach because I don't think they're capable of doing it. But the finals of just like him just smashing the chair with his arm, just showing passion. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's what you gotta have to do in these situations. Yeah,
100%. You got to call guys out, smash a table. We talked about this during the regular season too, Rohan, of like, you know, at some point you got to just get vocal with these guys if they're not playing the way that you think they should play. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Game 3 Friday, 7 Central. We'll be here after the game.
Sounds ominous.
Yeah,
that's a given. Hopefully we'll be live again. Hopefully we'll be live because it's a good thing. The only way you'll know, though, is if you have notifications on. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That's how you know when we're live here on YouTube. It's always fun. It's not a good thing for this time.
It's always fun. Ominous pause.
I'm saying, like, we're not live for a good thing today. We are live, and that's good. So I guess that is a positive.
I think if they lose the game in any circumstance, we probably have to go live if they're down 0-3 against Indiana in the first round. And spoiler, I'm not going to be going live at 1 a.m. on Sunday under almost any circumstance.
No.
Yeah.
That's sleepy time.
No, that is 100% sleepy time and should be sleepy time for everyone else.
Everyone but the Bucks, hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully
I'll stop interrupting you now. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. I'm trying to think, like, am I doing an outro? And I think I am. So like, we appreciate everyone who's tuned in
Bucks
here.
Communication and cohesiveness here. We're taking after the team too much. We spent too much time.
You saw the screen and no one dodged it.
Yeah, we both went to do the outro and then neither of us did, and Miles Turner just hit another 3.
Yeah. Where's Mark? Where's Ajax when you need it? Honestly? Maybe.
So I'll tell you how you can find out. There's a flow chart. If he starts, he plays 20 minutes. If he doesn't start, he doesn't play.
Yeah.
So that's how you can find where he is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God. If that is the move.
Dude.
He just comes out of nowhere. That would be legitimately like the Ultimate Warrior wrestling gif of just like the guy just came out of nowhere running down the stage. Not to ruin this outro, but like that you mentioning that it would be like the craziest wild card.
The worst part is I could see him doing it too.
This part wouldn't happen, but I'm imagining like somehow it's for Dame. Like they're like, we like Dame's look off the bench, so we're gonna go with Ajax, Prince, Kuz, Lopez, Giannis.
I'm not watching that game. I'm not.
The graphic, instead of just the 5 squares, they put Giannis on Atlas, and the 4 guys' heads are on the earth above him.
Oh
and
my!
It's very meta and edgy about the starting lineup decision.
It'd be crazy. Welcome to the starting lineup, Chris Livingston. That's like it's on fire.
Tyler Smith, your ankle's healthy. Get in there.
We've been waiting to get right the whole series.
Oh, wow. What a time. Oh, well, this is fun. This is where we're at with the Bucks. But yeah, we appreciate everyone who's tuned in, everyone watching here live on YouTube, and those listening or watching after the fact, watching the VOD, listening on your podcast platform of choice. Make sure you check out gspn.info for all of our links. We'll be back after game 3. 2 days off in between, more time for Dame to get ready, more time for this team to go over some film if they have a film room. They might not, who knows? And we'll see. But yeah. Thanks to everyone. Pod random, and we'll talk to you next time.
I miss my